All right, we're here at Oak Shades with our happy volunteer, Allison, and she's gonna line the fields. We're gonna use this green chalker right here. At the other fields, we're gonna use the blue chalker. It's a little bit different, but we'll talk about how to use those also. We're gonna make sure that we have 3 bases at Oak Shades. They're the plug-in bases. We're gonna have the pitcher's mound. We're gonna have this spool right here. We'll talk about that. We have a hammer, 4 spikes. We have a tape measure, and we have this stick right here that we'll talk about in a second. So first, we're gonna line the fields. We're gonna start by doing third base first. All right, so our volunteer quit, so we have a new volunteer. This is Kate.
Right here.
Oh, she's behind me. We're gonna take this spike and we're gonna put it in right behind home plate, making sure to not hammer your fingers. Put it down a little further. All right, good job. That's gonna be our center point for the foul lines. Now we're gonna take this spool and we're gonna walk it down to third base. All right, so if you look out in the distance, you can see the foul pole. You might be able to see a little bit of a faint line here. But anyway, we're gonna use that to line up. We're gonna take our spool, we turned it around to make it tight, keeping the line on the foul territory side of third base, all the way to the pin that we just hammered. And then we're gonna take the chalker and go over this line. Okay, so Kate's gonna chalk the third base line. Before we do that, there's 3 things to know about this little chalker here. Number 1, you got little guide notches. You're gonna try to keep the center notch on the line as close as possible. Second thing to know is that it will only drop chalk when the back wheels turn. So if you lift up the back wheels, it will not drop chalk. That'll be important when we do the batter's box. Third thing is you could set it, keep it on off when you're moving it, and then drop it down to 4 inches when you drop the line. So Kate's gonna drop it down to 4. Go ahead, drop it down to 4.
What is it?
Kate's having a little trouble. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it out, bring it down to 4, drop it in the notch. There you go. Go behind it and walk it down that line. All right, she's gonna go all the way back to home plate. All right, she keeps coming. And she's gonna stop about 5 feet away from home plate. Keep coming. Keep coming, and stop. All right, now we're gonna take the spool and we're just gonna walk it over to first base and do the same thing. Okay, normally the chalker is gonna be left at home plate, but I brought it back up the third base line because Kate's line was a little squiggly. But we just took the spool, we brought it over here. You're gonna drop it on the foul side of first base. Remember, there's gonna be a safety bag there, so that foul line should run in between the white and orange bags. And you're lining up with the foul pole, which is the yellow pole right there. And once again, walking it down toward home plate, and you're gonna stop about 5 feet before home. So we stopped about 5 feet from home plate. We're gonna take it off, and then we're gonna wind up that string because we're not gonna use the string anymore. Okay, the last piece of equipment we're gonna use is the batter's box template. Doing the right-handed batter's box, you'll see why I stopped 5 feet away from home plate. This field is a little off. So you wanna find, you don't necessarily wanna use second base as your guidepost. You kind of wanna just go due north off the point of the plate, if that makes any sense. You could do this 2 ways. You can step on the template to make an impression in the dirt, but what I typically do is I just use my index finger and I'll just draw a line around the inside of the box. Forgive the bad camera work. And that will give me an impression when I lift this up of the righty's batter's box. And then we'll take it and we'll drop it on the other side. All right, we dropped it on the other side. Kate's gonna draw the impression on the left-handed box. And then we'll have the impressions that we can then just use the chalker to go over. Okay. Okay, so we removed the template. We have a scratched out shadow of the box, and we're just gonna go over it using the same settings as the foul lines. Remember, lifting the back wheels will stop it from dropping. So I typically outline the boxes first, and then I'll do the inside. You'll notice that when you stop halfway over the machine, that's when it stops dropping. Let's see. All right, so I got the outside boxes, outside lines. Now we'll do the inside ones. Straight up. One more. And then we're almost done with the field. We're just going to do the pitcher's circle next. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the pitcher's circle. Kate's going to start by hammering the spike again in the back of the plate where it was earlier. And what we're going to do at the pitcher's mound is set at 3 different levels depending on the age group. So today we're setting it up for a minors division game, which is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, which is the equivalent of 10U in travel. That distance is 35 feet from the back point of the plate. When they move up to 12U or the majors division, which is like 6th, 7th, and 8th, they go to 40 feet. And then the high school girls, 14U and up, go to 43 feet, and it stays there through college. So she hammered the spike there. We're going to attach our measuring tape from there and then mark out 35 feet. So we have the tape pulled tight from the point of the plate at 35 feet. Just going to make a marking on the ground because that's where our pitching plate will be. And that's what we'll use for the center point of the pitching circle. Okay, so Kate is going to hammer a spike right in the center of that line. Okay, good. That's good. We're going to take this stick with the attached string and, bless you, parent, right there's a loop on the end. We're going to put that on the spike. And that string is going to be 8 feet. So pull that string real tight using the bottom of the stick. Put the bottom of the stick in the ground. Stand the stick up. Stand the stick up right here. Hold it right here. And now take it and you're going to keep it tight and draw a circle in the ground. Keep coming to me. Come to me. There you go. Keep it tight. Make a circle. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Nope, nope, nope. All right, she made it a little loose, so we're going to do that over. That's okay. Here, take the camera. So we're going to keep it real tight, right? And draw the circle all the way around. Pick up the hammer. There you go. Now you have a nice perfect circle. And now we're gonna go get the chalker and go right over that circle. Okay, so we're gonna use the same thing. We're gonna use the notches in the front of the machine to outline the circle. One thing, just make sure that this is filled before you start. You're gonna use about 3/4 of a bag on the field. The ones on Lloyd Road is a blue machines. They're gonna have 2 notches in the back. When you turn both of those notches to the left, that's when it drops. Turn them all the way to the right, that's when it closes. It's a little different than this, but it does the same job. Go around the circle that we scribed. Notice that I'm dropping a little less chalk right here, so push it in a little bit. Let's go over that part. All right, we are done. All we need to do is put the plate in, the bases in, and the pitching rubber, and then we're set. All right, so the last thing Kate's gonna do is she's just gonna put the pitching rubber in over that line that we scribed at 35 feet. Once she's done with that, we're done. You'll see that the bases were already thrown in. Remember after the game, by the way, to put those plugs back in. Those are really necessary to keep the dirt out, specifically when it rains or when somebody drags the field. Sometimes you're gonna have to draw a little bit extra or drop a little bit extra dirt here. We happen to guess it pretty good and stop right at around 5 feet, but we did go over a little bit. So we'll just erase it with our feet and then we're pretty good. We are set. Just make sure everything's put back into the equipment sheds. And thanks for volunteering, everyone.